This is a Zoom speedworm, ultra vibe speedworm. Great topwater bait in the summertime when you start seeing dragonflies. Anytime you're out on a body of water, it's hot, it's nasty, got the sun out. We had some storms push through earlier today, wind's blowing. Something like this, just a little speedworm, cast it out on 40-pound braid, rolled across the top in place of a frog. It's something a little bit different. They don't see it. And we're gonna put this thing to use. We're gonna see if we can pick up a few fish on this. I'll talk a little bit about how to work it, what to look for, and things of that nature. There he is. Little speedworm. Something a little bit different. Go. I'm trying to focus on this little bit of shade that's left. You know, the sun's high in the sky, it's around noon, and this sparse grass. You got matted grass and you got some grass out here that's kind of sparse. Looking for dragonflies. Just throwing this thing out, reeling it in real slow, giving a little pop and a twitch every once in a while. And one thing you can do that will get you some bites, if you come over like a juicy looking hole like that, just let it fall down in there and just give it a little twitch. So then you're it's kind of like fishing a weightless Cinco. Just pop it. Sometimes you get a bite like that. Or if you're coming off of the edge of a really juicy mat, just let it fall and just sink slowly off the edge of that mat. A lot of times those fish are just sitting right on that edge and they may not want to come up, but that's okay. You're still getting their attention with this little tail that's wiggling on this worm, and you let it fall, and sometimes they'll just suck it right in. You can twitch it on the mat too, you know. It's not as weedless as a frog by any means, but it still comes through the grass decent. Got some good looking stuff right here. It's a good place for a fish to be. Just give it a little pop. Looking for dragonflies a lot of times. Seems like if you got dragonflies in the area, you might get a bite on this little thing, because it kind of looks like, I think that's what the fish think it is, a little dragonfly fluttering around on top of the water. June bug is a color that I use most of the time, but I'm actually looking for something that's like a more baby blue, you know, like maybe sapphire blue might be a good color to try. Green pumpkin works sometimes, but really kind of looking at the dragonflies, and a lot of times these dragonflies are, that was a little bass came up, dragonflies are kind of light blue. Sometimes they're red, but that light blue color. So I like that, something that's blue. There he is. Popped it off that grass. Get in here. There we go. So I threw it right up against that shore grass, and there's just a little opening. Just popping along there. And she came up and smoked it. It was a fun bite. A little scrappy fish. Look how dark they are on that grass. It's a beautiful fish. Bass came up there after it. And a bass. I'll let that fall down in there, and one came out. I like to give it some little twitches like this. Every now and then, just little twitches. Just makes a little splash like a minnow that's trying to get away. There he is. Threw my worm off. Dang it. Just twitching that along the top, and that sucker blew up on it. I had another one come up and look at it a while ago. I was just pulling it off the edge of that mat and let it fall, and he came up there and creeped on it, but did not commit. Seeing all these little lanes. I started wearing these Bio sunglasses, and man, they really cut the glare. I can see down in that water. It's really good. See all these little subtle grass clumps and stuff in here. Just throwing that worm, letting it kind of fall next to those grass clumps. It's shallow, and the boat's in like 4 feet of water. Just kind of letting this worm fall, working it kind of like a Cinco. It's got that little bit of swimming action, a little bit different. That was a good bite. Good bite. Fish is sitting right in that little lane. Man, it is hot out here. Here's what we're throwing, guys. This is a Zoom Ultra Vibe speed worm in June bug. Any blue color I think is key, so you're kind of mimicking dragonflies. So something that's blue, kind of look at the dragonflies that are in your area. There are some red ones. If there's red dragonflies, something like a red bug, even a pink would work. I think blue sapphire is probably another good color. But this is the worm right here. One thing I will do is I will take this little, the speed crawl part of it, and I'll pull this out. Just kind of open it up just a little bit. Gives a little bit more action. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to open it up just a little bit. It allows a little more action. It's basically like a Cinco with the Ultra Vibe speed. You know, the Ultra Vibe speed crawl? Same thing. Little Cinco type worm with a little bit of flipper tail on it. I'm using a size 4 offset round bend worm hook. Just a standard worm hook. I like the size 4, size 5. And you want the heavier version of this for 2 reasons. One, you're throwing it on braid. So when you get that hook set, you don't want to open this hook up. You need a beefy hook. 2, it gives this weight. This hook's got some weight. You need this weight on the hook to kill this bait. If you don't, it's going to roll over. Your hook's going to be upside down, and you're going to miss fish. So I'm throwing this on 40-pound braid. I've got a 7-foot medium heavy Falcon Cara rod. You want a little bit lighter rod. Got a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. And this is just Power Pro braid. It doesn't matter. Moss green I think is important. You could throw this on fluorocarbon because you are just casting out and moving it. So whatever you've got that you feel comfortable throwing your lighter topwater baits on, go ahead and use that. You need a medium heavy though with some tip because this bait is weightless and it's a little bit tricky to cast. So a soft tip will help that bait get out there a little bit further. And we're just Texas rigging this. So there's a little seam on both sides of this. The seam runs right down the worm in line with the tail. I want to rig this up with the tail down, the tail facing the surface of the water. So we're just going to come in the top like this, get it lined up, hold it vertical. It's a lot easier, kind of let you know where you need to go in. We're looking for that little seam, coming in that seam like this, and we're just going to run it up, flip it around, and go in like this. We're not really text posing this. We're going to leave it kind of like a shaky head where you don't quite go through all the way. That works better with this kind of hook. So there you go. Just trying to get it on there straight as possible. It's got a little bit of a bend in it, but it should still work. If it doesn't, we'll make a few adjustments. It's a little bit better there. Another hook that works great is the same kind of round bend hook, but with the little hitchhiker on it. Something you would throw like a hollow belly swim bait on through the grass. That's probably a better hook, but I don't have any of those with me right now. So this is going to work just fine. Let's make a few casts, see if we can catch a fish. June bug is a great color. I like the June bug. Go green pumpkin, red bug, whatever. Got a little lay down right here. Cast up by that lay down, reel it in. Just let it fall right there by that lay down. There's a fish sitting on it. A lot of times you'll suck it in. Give it a couple twitches and let it fall, just like a Cinco, kind of like a wacky worm. just covering water. You're just fishing what's ahead of you. It's kind of like, it's just like a super finessey buzz bait, but it comes through grass excellent. There's bluegill beds up there. It's got a nice little soft sound to it. There he is. Two came up underneath that tree. That was awesome. Another one with him. Bigger one with him. Oh, I got off. Gosh, dang it. I was horsing him. There was another one with him. Bigger than that one. Of course, a fish like that. I saw that other one. I was trying to get that fish off and get back in there. There's another one, about a 4-pounder that came out after it. That was a heck of a blow up. Just kind of skipped the worm up underneath that tree, and two of them followed it out.